Hey everybody, how's it going? Kevin here. Got my buddy Jesse riding along, and we're in the Central Florida in the nice pine woods here. It's a beautiful Saturday. It's about 90 degrees, but it really doesn't feel like it. There's a slight breeze. Anyway, today I got Josh behind me in his Tacoma, and behind Josh we have Scott. So we've gone over a couple of bridges and it's surprisingly dry. This is more of the basin for the Withlacoochee River. But there are about 10 baby alligators, probably maybe up to 14 inches long, right over here. They were right there in the sun whenever we went over the bridge, but I do not see a mother or a bigger alligator anywhere. So we just pulled off in the middle of the woods. Got my truck all set up. Josh is out here. Josh ordered a whole bunch of suspension and wheels and tires for his truck, so hopefully by the next video it'll look nothing like that, and driving out here it's gonna act like a trophy truck compared to all the potholes that you just drove through stock.
I'm Scott and I produce the Backwoods Gourmet channel, and when I first started seeing Kevin's videos with Overland Florida, I'm like, you know, that fits exactly into what we do, which was we do outdoor cooking. We have over 300 videos on our channel. We should go check it out. We haven't cooked anything in the house yet. So we like to do this kind of primitive thing. I've been riding the woods since I was a kid, and I'm a lot older than most of these guys that are out here. So I thought I'd come along today and show them what, you know, show them a few tips on how they can do a little bit better cooking than just, you know, searing off something on that timbo tusk. So that's coming up a little later. So we'll see you after we get done with this great ride we're doing right now.
So here's the game plan for this video. It's about 3:30 in the afternoon. We are leaving the Stewart Homestead, which is a really cool site. I like to show people that have never been there before. We are headed to an old general store. Go check it out. Maybe buy some drinks or something from there. And from there, we're gonna head back and get a primitive camping site and set up. And that's when Scott's going to cook for us and show us how to cook, give us some pointers. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Unfortunately, Ron, who is always in my videos and loves cooking, isn't going to be here for this. He'd probably benefit from it way more than I would, but again, I'm never going to turn down free cooking lessons. So as we drive to the general store, here's something you guys can discuss in the comment section. How many of you would buy a Jeep Gladiator, and how many of you would buy the new Ford Bronco that's supposedly coming out? Now for the Ford Bronco, I've heard that it's going to come with removable doors and a removable roof. Also 2-door and 4-door configurations, which is pretty cool. The only thing I don't like is it's going to be on the Ford Ranger frame, which means it's going to have independent front suspension. So we're just hanging out the outside of the Richlawn General Store. I went with a Earps Original Sassafrilla, and it says, after a hard day of gunfighting, nothing beats a real sassafrilla. It's actually really good. It tastes just like a root beer. So Jesse's drinking this cream soda, and I had a sip, and it is very sweet. You can definitely taste the honey in it. I went with some maple syrup because I have their honey still from the last time I came here. It's delicious, so now we'll have some maple syrup for our eggs and bacon and everything in the morning. Now all the drinks that they do make here are made from local honey and sugar, and it tastes so sweet and fresh. What'd you get, Josh? Paratroopers?
Yeah, the only reason I bought this is I legit haven't seen this since I was probably 7 years old. I used to have one of these and I played with it for hours. So I bought it for the nostalgia for $4.
Yeah,
you can't beat the memory of having one of these things.
You don't want to jump off in this gumbo clay pit over here?
This is a part of the forest I've never been to. It's actually really dry, surprisingly. We've had a really wet winter here, and we've had some pretty heavy showers the last month, and this is actually pretty dry. So I fell into some ruts back there with my street tires, and I made it out. It wasn't that bad. But we are headed towards a river, as you can see right there, and I believe that's probably the Withlacoochee River, or it's just a small stream, which those usually don't pop up on the GPS, so I'm gonna bet that it's the Withlacoochee River. So, still got Josh and Scott there behind us. As long as the trail doesn't get much more narrow than this. I mean, our Tacomas are fine, but Scott's truck's full size, and I don't want to get his nice truck all scratched up. So the trail's made, my bad. So the trail's made quite a few zigzags, and we are getting really close to the river, so hopefully it's not dried up, and hopefully this isn't it what we're about to drive through. So here's the river. It's got a little trickle to it.
More than you need. Getting deeper. Touching my thighs.
There's all this old barbed wire out here, but it looks like people were crossing over here, but I'm not sure if it's a four-wheeler path or you can actually get a truck through there. Got to be careful for rattlesnakes out here. Oh, I think this is definitely, I'd say that's doable.
That are right where your freaking undercarriage is. You get out there and get hung on them. Yeah, be lynching.
Well, the good news is it's a solid bottom. So unfortunately that first water crossing was just a little too deep for all three vehicles, and there was some cypress knees right in the middle, so I might have had enough ground clearance on the front to clear it, but Josh's truck and Scott's truck would have hit that stump and the cypress knees. So the second water crossing was doable. All three of our trucks would have made it as far as water depth, and it had a solid bottom. The only issue was on the other side of the river crossing was two mud pits that haven't been crossed in a very long time. So it was super slick and it was clay, so it was really slippery. So we decided we'd rather find a nice campsite tonight and get those cooking instructions going before we run out of daylight. So we're gonna head back to one of the main roads and head towards camping area.
Sizes to begin with, and then finish them up at camp.
So we got a little turned around, and then Scott saw a good pile of firewood, so we jumped on that, got some firewood. Unfortunately, it's super dry, so most likely it's just gonna burn really fast, but we need firewood otherwise. But we are on our way back to make camp and set up. Unfortunately, it's a little bit later than I was hoping. It is about 5:58, and we probably still have maybe 35 minutes to get to an area where we want to camp. But it's about, like I said, it's about 6 o'clock now, so we have probably an hour and a half, almost 2 hours of sun still. So it's about 6:30 in the afternoon. We are almost to the area where we're going to set up a camp. We picked up Ryan. He's back there in his F-150. So he's going to come camp with us for a little bit. I'm so surprised. We haven't seen any wildlife other than alligators. No turkeys, no deer. Usually I see all kinds of deer out here.
Black-berry peach cobbler, and we're pretty much doing it camp style today. We're using canned peaches instead of fresh peaches, and we're actually using the Pillsbury refrigerated pie dough also. Trying to keep things simple. We've been out trail riding, so we don't got a whole lot of time. Gotta have butter. So this is sugar and cornstarch mixed together. Give it a good mix. Just gonna dump that over the top. Like I said, it's kind of a dump dish. Not a lot of, we might want to break up a big clump.
When I started, I had just quit smoking. Well, I quit smoking a little bit, but still like occasional. But
Alright.
I went out.
Grab our top crust.
I went out Tuesday night and smoked like
Right back on there.
Wednesday. I was running and felt everything.
Don't have to be pretty.
It was really filled with smoking going. I'm like, I'm glad I quit.
Lid on. That's ready to go on some coals. For about 400 on that. We want about 10 on the bottom. I'm going to spread them out in a ring. Just like that. Muscle that guy down on it. I'm going to put a solid ring on top. Right around the rim. Dutch oven's had a few minutes to preheat. I've already got it oiled. Take that lid off. We have our marinated chicken going in. Oh yeah. What we're talking about, baby. Spread that out a little bit. That lid back on there. And we're cooking. This chicken is Swiss chard stalks, which I use like celery because they have much better flavor. I grow those in my garden, and then sweet onions, roughly chopped, and 2 good pats of butter. Put the lid right back on. Only one more ingredient. Well, actually a couple more. A little seasoning and some chicken broth, and the rice. So I guess that's 3. I'm gonna go in with a little chicken broth. About 3/4. And now we're gonna grab our rice. We previously vacuum packed and pre-measured. That's 2 cups. Cups of rice. Give it a little stir down in there. So now we're going to our favorite seasoning, Seminole Swamp Season, and that's got a fair amount of salt in it. Which that chicken broth, by the way, was unsalted.
You putting it on yourself?
So I'm gonna give that about a tablespoon,
What's your uncle doing?
and then we'll check in a little while, see how it tastes. If it needs a little more, we'll add a little more. So that rice is only gonna take 20 minutes. Raw long grain rice, 20 minutes this time.
it's getting there. Let's see it. Oh yeah. May not be pretty, but it's going to be tasty. Let's see how chicken and rice is doing. Maybe give that a little stir. Oh yeah. Look
Oh
at
man,
that.
I can smell it. It smells so good.
So I think this is done. We'll give it that rice a little test. See if it's still nice and tender. About 5 minutes. And a little more Seminole Swamp seasoning. And that's going to be a nice hearty meal for folks that have been camping all day and riding the woods. So don't go away, because right now we're going to add our little polishing touch to that. Alright guys, our chicken and rice is almost done, and now we're going to put our special twist, Florida twist, on that and add some rock shrimp. These are in season this time of year, and they are freaking delicious, and they're only going to take just a couple minutes to cook. Let's put that lid back on. Be eating about 5 minutes. Go ahead and help yourself. There's plenty enough for everybody for like thirds. So get you some. Alright guys, we're ready for dessert. This is a blackberry peach cobbler we've been having going over there. Right on. So bring in some plates and we're going to serve this bad boy up. I'm sure it's going to be tasty.
I can smell it from here. It's so sweet.
Yeah. Thank you. Cornstarch in it. But the combination of blackberries and peaches is going to be pretty awesome. Okay, so I have this deck that I've custom built for the back of the truck that fits this mattress. It has all my storage underneath, all my power system over here, and everything we want to get to fast. Quick cooking gear, battery, inverter, power station right here, hooked to marine battery. This fits a queen size air mattress perfectly. So what I'm going to go ahead and do now, I just unfolded it, took it out of the box. I'm going to stick it on the inflator side of my DC inflator. I think I got this one at Walmart, of all places. Alright, so yeah, DC powered fan, a little switch on it right there, and we can open the screens up in the topper, clip this up right on the side there, and get some nice airflow through there. Stay nice and cool, because it is pretty hot here. It's you know, pre-summer here. Actually, for most of you guys watching, it's summer. It was 90 degrees a day. Only going to be down in maybe the low 70s or upper 60s tonight. So you're going to need a little circulation. So we'll get our sheets on, get our sleeping bag in there, and I'm good to go till morning.
Another successful camping trip in the books. Thanks, Scott, so much for coming out and showing us how to cook and making some delicious food for us. Unfortunately, it was pretty warm last night. There wasn't much of a breeze after about 10 o'clock at night. So it's starting to get too warm to camp without air conditioning in Florida, but I think we can probably sneak in 1 or 2 more trips. We just have to go a little further north. So thanks for watching, and hopefully Josh's truck's gonna look totally different the next time you see it. He ordered a whole bunch of stuff like I said earlier. My truck, I haven't really ordered anything for it. But other than that, thanks for watching. If you guys find a video that you find interesting, feel free to share it for me. Thanks.